The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today. Come on, America, let's hit the road. So many things to see, so many places to go. Freedom and fun go hand in hand when you're rolling in your RV across this great land. So buckle up now. What do you say? The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
It's time for hour number 2 of America's only radio show about the RV lifestyle. Syndicated from coast to coast, it's the RV Show USA with Alan Warren, the RV guy.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
Man, I can't believe how fast today's show is going. If you missed any of the program so far, no worries. You can catch the podcast of last hour on our website and on iTunes. And in both places, the shows are abbreviated without commercials, so you can listen to a whole hour in about 2 or 3 minutes. No, I couldn't help it. You listen to a whole hour show in about 40 minutes, okay? Alan Warren, the RV guy, with you as we begin hour number 2 of the country's #1 RV lifestyle radio show. We are excited to have reconnected with our good friend Tim Wassberg from MRV The Buzz. Hey, Tim, nice to have you back on. Been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's good to be back.
Well, you bet. Now, so folks, Tim may not tell you, so I'm going to. He is one of the most talented travel writers in the country. He really is. He's kind of like that Johnny Cash song. He's been everywhere, man. And he's a moving target, brother. Because every week, MRVTheBuzz.com comes out with fantastic stories that RVers and anybody who enjoys traveling, they just love. So, Tim, where you been lately? Anywhere exotic?
Oh, well, I mean, last time we talked, I was heading out to the Yukon, and the Yukon up in Canada. You wouldn't believe the amount of campgrounds and people RVing up there. Again, and I think I told you this before with the stuff we're going to talk today on the show about Maritime Quebec, just north of Montreal. It's insane the amount of RVs and the RV lifestyle is up there completely. So we went up there. We landed on an ice field at about 14,000 feet, and literally you can go from like the campground, which is about I think maybe 15 minutes away, get on the plane with this bush pilot, and it's the only place in North America, from what I'm told, that you can actually, they have the agreement to land in a national park on top of an ice field at about 12,000 feet, and beneath you is like literally an ice sheet that is,
wow.
It's about 500 feet taller than the One World Trade Center in New York. And you're standing on top of that, and they land the plane on. We got out. We're going to be bringing those stories to you guys in a couple weeks. But it was some fantastic photos. But I was there. We did whitewater rafting, did a whole piece with some of the guides there because it's really wild. Whitewater 3s and 4s in terms of difficulty. Just a very wild area. They kept saying that it's the they look at Alaska more as the Disney version, and they're like, this is the real outback. And I'm like, well, there's room for both. So, but we did that. And then, I was at Outdoor Retailer with all the brand new outdoor products that are coming out. Got some really insane stuff coming up that I'm going to talk to you about that. And then, since then, been out in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado doing some pieces on all the summer stuff that people can do, like in Winter Park and all that. Just some insane stuff. Did some great fly fishing. We caught this huge trout.
Really?
So these are all great things coming up. And the last thing I did, I just got back from yesterday. Actually, was in northwestern Florida, scalloping, about 7 miles offshore, and did a piece with some of the captains about that because I think people are unaware about basically how you can go out and dive for scallops off the west coast of Florida. So all of these great stories, tons of stories, coming up.
Man, well, what's coming out on Monday? I know every Monday you turn the side, as they say. You come out with new stories. We're going to Canada, as I understand, but not to Western Canada. We're going to the other side.
We're going the other side. I was talking a little bit about that. Yeah, because the thing is that I wanted to give a little bit of a hyper-focus on Canada, because they have so much great outdoor stuff as well as here in the States, so I like to give a little bit of diversity for people.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, the thing that we're showing this week, well, the first thing I want to talk about is, like, north of Quebec City and Montreal, about maybe 4 hours, you get up into, like, the St. Lawrence River, like these deep deep waters and fjords and everything where all these whales are. So we went way up there to an old, it's an old fishing village. Some of the old pictures that we have from back in the day are just insane. But I went out with a couple of guides searching for beluga whales and for minke whales. And we went out there and talked to everybody about what runs through there. I mean, there's even blue whales that run through there. But we did a big piece with them on that and talked to them about, how everything's changing. But just being next to these massive whales is insane. And it's because it's so cold there that you can't fall in the water. If you're in the water for more than a minute, you will freeze. So we're in these huge sort of orange, outfits. So basically we don't, if we fall in the water, we don't die, So
or they can find you because you're glowing. they can retrieve
they can
your
find
body.
you if you're glowing, but and pull you back up on the boat real quick. But it's funny because we're on these Zodiacs that are about 20 people on there. But again, what's great is that there's campgrounds all around there for RVs and everything. You literally have to take different ferries over, and we have another story about that. But it's just this one town of Tadoussac. It's it's right on the edge of the boreal forest, and it's right next to this fjord. So it's just all the congruence of all these things coming together. And then plus, you could stand on the point out there, and you could see minke whales, and then you go farther out, and you if you're lucky, you can see some of these blue whales come through. And I mean, these things are huge. I mean,
Tim,
you don't see them as much, but
why did you? What took you there? I mean, did you just wake up one day and go, "I'm going to go to way up northern Quebec"? I mean, how did you hear?
No. The reason why is because I've reached out, and the reason why we get a lot of these stories is that I reach out to different friends, different people, both in tourism, but also in the outdoor industry, and see where are these cool places that maybe people haven't heard of and they should go to, and the unusual stuff. And I mean, I met with a bunch of people from Canada and New York, I think about 5 months ago, and they were pitching me all these different things. I said, no, I want the unusual story. I want the story of the guide that grew up, mountain biking, and then she went out to she wanted to go out and actually, find herself and everything like that, and then she comes back and does these things with the whales. You can find these people. You have to look, and as a result,
tell us about Steve Lizou, the guy that you wrote about that's going to come out on Monday. What an awesome sounding guy!
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, with the girls over there at the whale thing, but with Steve was an interesting thing because, and we can go into it probably after the break as well. Is the aspect that he? I heard the story about him at a bar. This thing called it's a pink bar where all the local people hang out in Tadoussac. And I was sitting there having a beer, and this local guy said, I know you're looking for some unusual people. You're trying to find the real story up here. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, there's this guy out in the woods, and he came here, many years ago. And the one thing they didn't mention that he came to the city. He was from Montreal, but he grew up in the Magdalen Islands, which is way, way far east. It's very, not uninhabited, but it's over in basically Newfoundland. Mm-hmm. And literally he came here to spread his sister's ashes, apparently. But he stayed there and he got lost. He went up into the fjord for maybe a month or two, just, sailing up, just finding himself being one with nature. And he shipwrecked because his motor ran out up in this fjord, which is huge. And if people look it up, this fjord up in Maritime Quebec is just insane. And literally, he went up in the woods to try to find how to fix it. He met his wife at a bed and breakfast, and he never left.
Wow!
But what he does now, and I mean, I went out to this workshop. We had to sort of find him, do stuff by cell phones. I bought the guy a beer at the bar, and literally, we went out and found this guy in the middle of this it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's in this huge forest, the boreal forest. It's just trees as far as the eye can see. It is insane. And he makes these beautiful wooden, works of art, these sculptures where it's just it looks like porcelain. And he does this at this little workshop inside the woods. And literally he has campgrounds and everything next to him. It's in a place of this area called Sacred Heart.
You know, the name Sacred Heart, one of the things that jumps out at me about so many of these artists, especially up there in Canada, they are so spiritual, so connected with nature and with life and the circle of life, you know, and I know that this artist is from some of the things I'm reading in your story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing is that I get up there and I start talking to them, and this is when you really get a sense, and I get a sense of it from people who I've met in Colorado and Montana and stuff like that, and definitely Oregon, is that they love the aspect of nature. They love the camping thing. I mean, granted, there was like tons of mosquitoes up there, but he's just like working through it, and you know, he has like it's hard to describe because like we drive out there, you drive through these, and you can find it with GPS. You just go out through all these different roads and everything, and you come to this workshop with this elevated platform. But it's just, as you saw, just these beautiful pieces of art and jewelry.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. Stick around, Tim. We're going to continue after this. Folks, we got Tim Wassberg from MRV The Buzz on with us. He is a travel writer, and as you can tell, he is very knowledgeable and very passionate about his job. We'll be right back with more of the RV Show USA right after this.
I want to take a minute and do a little bragging.
Man,
I mean, it sounds beautiful.
it does.
If I order you a pizza, do you have someone to pick it up? Wait,
Brian wants to order me pizza.
are you complaining about being hungry?
No, I didn't say nothing about being hungry. He just said, "Hey, you want some pizza?"
Brian, you're the Brian that was in the hospital, right?
Yeah, he got his truck totaled.
I saw that.
Yeah.
You okay? I guess you're okay. Hadn't heard from
He's
you for a
okay
few
enough to
days.
want to buy me a pizza,
I'd say that's pretty good. I like barbecue, Brian.
and I won't have anybody to go down there and pick it up till like 9:30.
I like
10
some
o'clock.
barbecue.
So
Tim makes me jealous. He
I
makes
had,
me
a, I, had
jealous.
a, I had a good hamburger for dinner anyway. So I appreciate that, Brian. Thank you, though. I mean,
buy me a pizza.
well, and then they could have it delivered to the Warren household.
There you go.
Yeah. So, man, Tim's got a great job. Of course, I got a great job too. I get to put.
You
I
get to work with me.
Yeah, I'm about to say I get to work with him for 2 hours a week, which is really all I can handle. Is 2 hours
It
a
could
week.
become 3 if we're not careful now. So.
Oh, really?
Well, that's what. No.
Oh, really? 3 hours. Which means if we have to start recording at 8, that's going to present a problem.
We have to be on meds to do another hour.
Oh,
together.
Lord. Well, depending on what kind of meds, it could be a very interesting show.
You know, years ago, did you ever hear of a guy on WAI, Carl Wigglesworth?
Yes, he was then on KTSA for several years.
Yeah, Carl was. I thought he was a great talent, but he kind of left. I don't know whether circumstances weren't really great, but he did a deal on drunk driving, and he had the police chief in one time in the studio, and he got drunk on the air at a 3-hour daily show, and he talked, and by the time he got the it was.
I think he still has a show on one of a different radio
does
station. I think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think he and Sonny and Eliza Sunnylander are on a different station here.
I didn't know Eliza was still around. She's an awesome talent. I thought she was wonderful.
But when stations go a different direction, sometimes there are casualties.
Yeah, and people get fired lots in the radio business.
Yes.
Hi, Kelly.
I don't want to be one of those people, so y'all need to keep listening and watching and telling people what a great show this is so we can gain stations.
So he can keep his job.
In fact, here's what you can do. Call your local radio station and let them know you want the RV Show USA each and every week on your local radio station.
Yeah.
Why not?
Now, my battery's getting low on my computer.
Well,
That's okay. I can't plug it in yet. Not
why
yet.
not?
Because I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to put a memory in it, you know?
Okay, well there you go.
All right, 1 minute, boys and girls. Hey, Laurie.
Yeah, I can do Domino's like right around about 9:30.
We have Laurie. We have Lori,
We have Kelly.
Chris, Scott. Another few people in now. Here's what's going to happen. In the next 24 hours, maybe 36 hours, this show is going to be condensed. It's going to be put on YouTube. We hope you will subscribe to our YouTube channel.
San Antonio.
So subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get a notification when the video's up. We take out this banter. We put up a few graphics. We'd like you to share it with your friends. All right.
10 seconds, boys and girls.
All right, we're coming back with more Tim here on the RV Show USA.
We'll send you a free Texas State Park Guide. You gotta take care of Texas, it's the only one we got.
Sponsored by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
All right, we're back with our good friend from MRVthebuzz.com. He is one of the nation's most, envied travel writers around, Tim Wassberg. And we're talking about his recent trip up to Maritime Quebec. And where do we leave off, Tim?
Well, I mean, we're talking about Steve Leisure. Like, the thing is that we were talking about it's all about the people that you see and you meet when you're RVing and when you're camping. I mean, that's what we really try to do, is sort of tell these stories, these people features, so you get a perception of the destination. Because, people go to the campground, they want to know the people, as you know, being an owner, that they want to know who they're staying with. Sometimes it's just as long as they know you're there. And it's the same thing with a lot of these things, whether it be going on these whale tours, because these are the people that, that protect you and keep you safe while still allowing you to see the whales. And somebody like Steve, this woodcraftsman, you go out there and you enter a whole new world, and basically he brings you into his world, and between, he'll make it just one of his things, you'll like this, Alan, is that, I looked at this one little piece of sculpture, and you know how, when you see something, when, people are out and about, that's something they really think is just so unique. This guy, he had a piece of wood, and he says, the sculpture came out of it, and basically it was a piece of wood that he found in the woods that was eaten by the beavers. So the top of this thing, and you can see it in the article, you can see that the top of the actual sculpture, it was the beaver teeth marks, and that he makes this porcelain thing out of it, and it's so indicative of the outdoors, because it's all about reclaimed wood, and it's all about just, again, connecting with nature. Him and his wife built a cabin in the woods, and it's just meeting these people and, seeing everything they do. Plus, there's a great campground right across the street.
Really?
So people can stay there, and you can walk to the water. There's a great coffee shop, less than a mile and a half as far as walking, and you're right on the fjord. I mean, I sat there and just listening to the silence, and you can just hear the birds. It's something so great. And again, that's what we're always looking for, when we're RVing or camping, is looking for that moment of just peace, or just man, I can't believe I'm here and I get to do this.
Something I found really interesting was that Steve, when he makes these wood carvings, he does not cut down a living tree to do it. He will not do that, will he?
No. He actually goes to the woods. If you see the picture of him, I love it. It's just he's a typical Frenchman, but he's French-Canadian. He has the scarf and everything, and his wife's there with him. He goes out into the woods and finds all this reclaimed wood, and he finds such great things where, he can make plates and all this stuff, but it's all directly from the boreal forest. It's just and there's such a mythology. It's like a Norse mythology. It reminds me of Finland or some of that thing. It's just so wild, and yet you can walk back in there and just see all this wildlife, or walk along the fjord. But he literally will find this wood. He won't cut down a living tree. He'll find all this stuff and just make these beautiful pieces of art, and he'll make something specifically for the people who come by. And that's why I wanted to highlight him.
And you can drive to this guy's place.
Yeah, basically, where the whale watching thing is right in this small town of Patisek, which is absolutely beautiful. This old little small town, everybody knows everybody, and it's just right along this cove. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, the sunsets are beautiful. The storms are beautiful. I was there during a massive thunderstorm. It was just awesome. But yeah, literally, you drive 20 minutes up on their roads, and the roads are really nice up there. I mean, you can drive it, a full size, a Class A up and down the thing. The only thing that you have to do at certain points, and we highlighted this too on one of our stories next week, is you have to take the ferries. You have to, put your actual motorhome on the ferry and go across and do that. But they're always running, so you can get where you need to go.
It's amazing to me to see how Canadians, so many of them, especially when you get out of Quebec City and Toronto and the big cities, they have this connection with nature. They really are connected to nature in a way that I think we probably were, our ancestors were, but they are today.
Yeah, and that's really what I'm trying to do with like these pieces on Quebec Maritime, but also with the Yukon, is I'm trying to show that I want to push as much as possible the U.S., but there's just so much great outdoors elements in Canada. I mean, which I haven't even touched the surface, to be very honest, Alan. I mean, there's so much stuff that I didn't know of that I've been told about up in northern Canada, in northwest Ontario, certain things in Alberta that, people know about Banff and Lake Louise, but even beyond that. And that's what I'm trying to do, is sort of bring these really unique stories, these really unique outdoor stories that people themselves can go experience through MRV the Buzz.
Tell us about that whale watching trip you went on again. Did you actually see whales, and how close did you get to them? What was that experience like?
Well, I mean, you go out of the inlet, and they just like run out there, and literally, the thing is, there's a lot of rules in place because these, like especially the belugas, are they're protected, so they can't go within like 100, 150 yards of them. So you slow down really slow, and you could, like, we saw a white one like surface, and you're just like, wow. But the thing that was really neat to me was watching some of these things called minke whales, which are not like dissimilar to belugas, but they're dark, and there's a picture of them actually on in the story. And basically, they work like porpoises. Like, there's these rock shells. And so we'll go along, sort of right alongside them, which we did, and you'll watch these things push the actual fish, like, right up almost onto the land, and then they just go and gulp them.
Wow.
And it's insane. And the one thing that really got me, which I didn't know till afterwards, was the fact that, they don't drink seawater because they're mammals. They don't drink it like we don't drink it. And this, I was told this by a biologist, is that they literally let the seawater go out and just keep all the fish and everything in. So they have their own sort of filter system, and that surprised me. I mean, just hearing that was just neat, and watching them do it, because it is Darwinism, it's survival of the fittest, and just watching this whole ecosystem work. It's really something else.
So I imagine it's a great area for commercial fishing, for sport fishing, as well as just enjoying nature.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that you can't do. I mean, there's a relegation on some sports fishing, so there's not as much right there. I know it's in other places. This is more just sort of almost like a nature experience. So, you can fish there, yes. And it used to be, I think, much bigger, but now it's more about, sort of the viewing and all that kind of stuff. So,
gotcha.
But believe me, we're getting into the fishing in another part pretty soon, I'll tell you.
Okay. Hey, so is the whale population overall, did they say that it's going up, it's going down, or did you even ask?
Yeah, I did. It's changing. The thing is that, as much, and I'm bound to ask these questions, is, how is the aspect of the ice and the climate change, and I saw this in the Yukon as well, how is it changing how things, are looking? And they say, like, different things, like you used to see the humpbacks. You see humpbacks come through there now. And they didn't see that before. They used to see tons of fin whales, these huge whales that are different. Now they hardly see them because the migrating patterns are changing because of the water temperature and different things like that. The belugas will always come there because that's where the belugas give birth. So that's the one thing that you can see sometimes in the fjord. We didn't see it because it's a certain time. I think it's closer to August, and you can see that at that time.
All right, listen, Tim, we got to call it there. I'm going to send everybody over to mrvthebuzz.com, and I am so jealous of you. One day I got to tag along with you on one of your adventures, okay?
You got it.
All right, you take care. Have a great weekend. Folks, that's Tim Wassberg with mrvthebuzz.com. You can connect with them at thervshowusa.com and jump over from there. We'll be right back. Well, the big chief's gone. Tim is...
You know what is also going to be very good? That pizza that Brian ordered for me.
He did not order me a pizza.
No, he ordered me a pizza.
No. Brian, did you do that?
He said he did. He said that the order number's on the main page.
It's probably a special pizza.
Probably got some of these cow patties on it.
Yeah.
All right, so...
All right, what do you got?
I need to make a phone call.
All right, we got a great destination of the week coming up. Beautymus in Maryland. It's another Jellystone Park. We got the right kind of music rolling? Ready to come in?
We should. We did last week.
Well, we did kind of, sort of, kind of.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Remember that one?
Yes.
I'm glad I asked.
Yes.
I ordered goose pepperoni. What's goose pepperoni? Oh.
Really?
I
Really?
can't help it.
Really? That's
Hey,
good.
darling, how are my ice cubes doing? Go ahead and check in the freezer in the garage. Let me know. Cow patties. All right, so let me scroll back, see where everybody's from.
Hi, John. This is Goose from the RV Show USA. How you doing? Doing all right. Hey, we're just a couple of minutes from coming back to the program, and would like to have you as our guest for the next 2 segments if you're up for it. Awesome. Awesome.
We've tagged them on Facebook.
We tagged you on Facebook and everything.
If they wanna share it.
So we're gonna put you on brief hold. We'll be back with you here in just a little bit. All right. All right. Thank you. So I have a question for you.
Start living.
Do you want the regular music or do you want the special music?
The special music.
The super special music? Like the 1960s?
No.
No? Okay.
No, just the one that that girl, the drive-in music.
Yeah, the drive-in music. That's what I thought. That's what I thought you meant.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I know what you meant. It's all good.
Okay,
We're good. We're good. We're
That
good.
thingy deal.
We're good.
All right, we got another minute and
Uh-huh.
a half. So if you missed our first hour, you can go to iTunes, go to the iTunes store, type in the RV Show USA, and you'll be able to listen to the Texas RV Professor, as well as Sandra Rochelle, Time Traveler 2. She was awesome. What else we got? Yeah. Hey, Goose, free pizza for you and Alan. Already paid for it. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Apparently not. You need to. Are you on the main page?
He did not.
Apparently
Brian,
he
you
did.
can't do that. I'm on a diet. I'll just scrape
All right, guys.
the top off.
We've got our destination of the week coming up, so stick with us. The RV Show USA continues in just a moment.
With hundreds of new RVs to choose from, I hope you'll check out DeMontrond RV. Yep, they're a bit of a drive from San Antonio, but the savings and the service you'll experience are well worth it. Connect with DeMontrond RV through our website, thervshowusa.com, thervshowusa.com, and click on Certified Dealers.
Big wheels straight ahead, never looking back. Big wheels, till lights gonna fade to black. Big wheels, take me down that road tonight.
All right, we've been rolling along here on the RV Show USA. Just left Quebec, Canada, and we're pulling into Williamsport, Maryland, folks. And by the looks of this place, it is a magnet for RVers this time of year. To tell us about Jellystone Park here in Williamsport is John Erdman, the general manager of this world-class facility. Hey, John.
Hey, Alan, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. I guess mid-August is a screaming busy time, for y'all and Yogi there at Jellystone.
Oh, absolutely. This is the time of year folks are here on vacation. So middle of the week, we've got all kinds of folks here on vacation, and then we continue to be, full of folks who want to get away on the weekends and then come out and enjoy our park.
Well, tell us a little bit about it. If somebody's never been to Williamsport, where are y'all located? I know where you are in the state. I guess you're right there next to West Virginia. It's beautiful.
We are. It's kind of a unique location. We're a couple miles from West Virginia and about 20 miles from Pennsylvania, kind of right in the middle of Maryland, right in sort of the foothills of the mountains here. It's a great location, conveniently located kind of Baltimore and Washington, so we get a lot of folks from that area, as well as a lot of folks from kind of Pennsylvania and West Virginia as well.
I was going to say you look like the perfect distance for people to escape D.C. and Baltimore. Like you said, you're like in this little hidden area that is just spectacular. The pictures on your Facebook page, John, are beautiful.
Yeah, they are. It's a great location. Beautiful trees, and in the background, all throughout this area, there's kind of rolling hills and mountains. But just a beautiful countryside. It's a great alternative to sort of the folks who are coming from the D.C. and kind of Baltimore area.
Now, if somebody has never been to a Jellystone Park, you are far more than an RV park or an RV resort. Tell them about Jellystone, because I love y'all's places.
Yeah, I think really the distinguishing feature of the Jellystone Parks, including ours, are really the activities. We just have amazing activities at our park and most Jellystone Parks. You know, everything from organized arts and crafts and games and sports to, we have mini golf, laser tag, jumping pillows, hay wagon rides. You name it, we have it. And, we've got some, unique things here. We've got a zip line. And then our newest attraction here is a Ninja Warrior course.
What is that all about? I read a little bit, but I can't even imagine it.
Yeah, a lot of folks have seen the TV show American Ninja Warrior, and folks go through this obstacle course on the show, and we actually have a miniature version of that here at the park. It's in one of our buildings, and it's a great activity. We have 3 different levels of the course, one for the little ones to go on that they can do, and then 2 that are a little more challenging for kids who are a little older and for adults.
Now, in terms of RV sites, cabins, tell us about what y'all have to offer there.
We've got a wide range. In terms of RV sites, we go all the way from, primitive tent sites all the way up to we have what we call red carpet sites, which are, concrete slabs, 50 amp service, really nice fire rings. So we have about 155 RV sites here at the park. And then we have 80 cabins, ranging everywhere from, and they range everywhere from, the simple primitive one-room cabin with no bathroom to, a cabin with 2 bedrooms, a full kitchen. In fact, we have one of them that even has a hot tub.
Really? So with 80 cabins, do you have as many non-RVers that stay with y'all as you do RVers, or?
This time of year, actually, in the middle of the week, we have almost as many folks in the cabins as we do RVers. Typically on the weekends, because of the numbers, we see more RVs than we do cabins. But we have a lot of folks who take advantage of the cabins, people who want to come out and camp, but they don't want to stay in a tent, and they haven't made the investment yet in an RV. So the cabins provide a great option for them to be able to come out and still enjoy the camping experience, without having to have an RV or without having to, necessarily stay in a tent.
How old is Jellystone Park there at Williamsport?
Our park here, I think, is about 40 years. The company that owns it now, we've only had it for about 4 years, but I think it goes back probably about 30 or 40 years.
Though your water park, it all looks so brand spanking new. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, we bought the park about 4 years, and we've made a lot of investments, as is the previous owner. So we've got a beautiful water park, 2 400-foot water slides, and then about 2 or 3 years ago, we put in a wonderful kind of pirate-themed interactive splash pad area that the kids just absolutely love.
Man, oh man. All right, John, we got to take a quick break. Can you hang with us?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, good deal. Folks, this is our featured destination of the week, and it sounds fabulous, doesn't it? Well, if you subscribe to our free newsletter, we will send you a coupon. Get this, that's good for a free night stay to Jellystone Park there in Williamsport. That's right, a coupon for a free night stay. Add your name to our email list at thervshowusa.com. Put the on it, thervshowusa.com. Click on subscribe. We'll be right back.
Have you ever dreamed of an amazing life?
I would tell Brian that he shouldn't have, but I very much appreciate.
I just need to see where that pizza's going.
Oh, is it being delivered or?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh no.
But I need to see where that's going.
Let's see. I guess I better go back to Facebook.
Yeah, go back to Facebook.
Is it posted on Facebook?
Yeah, he put the order on the Facebook page.
Brian.
So I have a sneaky suspicion about something. And nobody's going to be happy with it. No one's going to be happy with it.
So call them up and tell them, don't do it.
Oh boy.
How much time we got?
We got 3 minutes.
Okay. Where do you want me to go?
I want you to find that order that he put.
I don't know where it is.
You had it up a minute ago.
I know.
You had it up a minute ago. My
Watching
goodness.
now.
Yep.
What do you mean?
So close that part.
Yeah.
And then let's see where we can find it. Scroll.
It ain't now.
Not there.
It's not there. You know what? Could he have put it on the group
He
page?
may have put it on the group page, maybe. I don't know. I just have a sneaky suspicion about something.
Let's see.
Yep,
There we
it
go.
is. So
Okay.
what's that address right there?
That's in Burnett.
Yeah.
That's up at the lake.
Yeah,
Not the right address.
not the right address.
Brian, that's not even the right
Oh.
city.
So the Big Chief RV Resort is in Burnett. We actually
Or in San
do the
Antonio.
show from the studios of 9:30 a.m. The Answer here in San Antonio, Texas. To find that address, you can go to 930amtheanswer.com. That's 930amtheanswer.com and find the address for right here at 9:30 a.m. The Answer, part of Salem Media Group.
But we are most appreciative of your thoughtfulness.
Oh
Brian.
no! That is awesome, man. That is a great
Please,
thing.
you don't need to do
No, I appreciate that a great deal. He and I both do. It is awesome. Thank you so much. But we do the show here in San Antonio, so pizza and burn it. We wouldn't get there till like 11 o'clock, and then we'd have to drive back.
that. But I'll be there tomorrow. I like cold pizza, but I will be there tomorrow.
Oh my goodness! No, Brian, you don't. It's not a big deal, man. The thought is what counts, and
That's
man,
right.
that was a great thought. That was a great,
Very nice.
great gesture, and we appreciate that so very much. But yeah, so if you do want to buy us pizza, go to 930amtheanswer.com. Find the address there.
Yeah. And you can send us a message here. We'll send during the break. We'll go down and pick it up. We're on the 12th floor.
Okay, so you're half right. You can cancel it, but you don't have to.
Yeah,
You don't have to reorder, man. I ate dinner. I had a good burger from a good place here in town, and had some cheese curds and onion rings. I'm pretty much junk food out.
Alan
tonight.
said he wanted barbecue pizza. I won't. It doesn't. You know,
He says a lot of things. I only listen to half of them, but I have to listen to them.
my wife doesn't listen to any of them.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
wait.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we got to get back to Jellystone. We'll continue this conversation when we come back in here in the next break. You're listening to the RV Show USA right here at the studios of 930amtheanswer.com.
Braunfels at exit 193, and they're open today at 9 a.m. PPL Motorhomes, exit 193 in New Braunfels.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today.
All right, we're back, and on our guest line is the general manager of a truly world-class RV resort in Maryland. It's called Jellystone Park with John Erdman. John, there are so many great things about y'all's facility. It is not easy to talk about all of them in just a few minutes, is it?
It's not. We have so many things going on. Like I said, from our staffed recreational activities where folks can do arts and crafts. We do candy bar bingo. We have dances. We also do themed every week or every weekend in the fall and the spring. We do themes. So last week, for instance, we did Pirates and Mermaids. We actually had a live mermaid here a couple nights. So that was kind of exciting in one of our pools. So we do so many different things here that, we try and have something so that everyone in the family has, something to do, whether it's, the little ones or, it's the adults. We try and have activities that, speak to a broad range of folks.
Now, you're not open year-round. You got that thing called snow up there, right?
We're not. We open typically the first weekend in April, and then we close right after Thanksgiving. Yeah, winters are a little tough here in Maryland for RVing in the middle of December, January.
But those pictures, you've got pictures of your cabins in the snow, and For a guy in Texas who doesn't see snow very often, it's just so beautiful when the snow falls.
Oh, it is gorgeous. I actually live here on site, and it's beautiful in the wintertime when we get snow. It really is pretty.
I was going to ask you if you were an RVer or if you lived there, if you lived in the area. So you must like the place to live there.
I do. I really enjoyed it. There's lots of advantages to living where you work, and commute to work, and every morning you get up and go out and take a walk through the park and see folks and visit with the folks in their RVs and have the smell of bacon waffling through the park in the morning. It's a great place to be.
How do you think that living there? I'm sure you think living there has got to give you an advantage, a leg up on rather than living 30 minutes away or so in terms of customer service and taking care of your guests.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, every time I come in and out of the park, even if I'm on my day off or my personal time, I'm going by RVs and sites and looking at what's going on and how things are running in the park. If a guest needs something, I'm always available, 24 hours a day, so I can respond pretty quickly to the needs of the guest. And as I said, the other thing is just in my spare time, I spend a lot of time out in the park, and so I have the opportunity almost every day to stop in and talk to people at their sites and see how they're doing and talk to them about their visits and what are the things we're doing well and what are the things that we need to improve on.
You said that the park was maybe almost 40 years old. You probably see generations of families that maybe grew up there and came every summer, and that's got to be pretty satisfying to you to hear stories from return guests that have been coming for so many years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've been around a long time, and so we have a lot of folks who've been coming here for years and years, and have lots of great stories, which is great for us. I mean, we see our mission as creating lasting memories. And when I hear a guest say, "Hey, I remember when we came, when I was here as a little kid, or when my family came on vacation back in whatever year it was," that's really what we're all about, and that's what we hope we're doing with our current guests is we're creating those lasting memories. So when they get together, 10, 15 years from now, they'll remember back to, hey, do you remember when we went to Jellystone Park on that vacation or for that weekend?
Yeah, you've got the atmosphere of a quiet, beautiful RV resort, but it's also the fun of a theme park with that water park, the slides you've got, and all the different activities for the kids.
Yeah, it really is that unique combination, and our park is kind of unique in that we're sort of set up in three separate areas, so it's like we actually have kind of three separate campgrounds, so you don't have that feel of being in a big, massive park, but then at the center we have our water park, our store, our canteen, and all of our recreational facilities. So you have that opportunity to be away in kind of a quiet area and enjoy what camping's all about in terms of the quiet side of it. But then when you're ready for activities, we certainly have, a variety of things for you to do.
What kinds of area attractions or entertainment things are there nearby?
Yeah, we are kind of centered in kind of right in between some of the key crossroads of the Civil War. So one of the things that a lot of folks do is visit some of the battlefields in the area. Antietam, which is a critical battlefield, battle in the Civil War, is about 20 minutes from us. Harper's Ferry is really close nearby. Gettysburg is about an hour and a half for us. So we have a lot of folks who come and see those battlefields and do that. The C&O Canal runs just a couple of miles from us, so we see a lot of folks who come in and do biking. And then, there's just the other outdoor things, hiking in the area. So there's a lot of really neat things to do in this area.
How is working there as the general manager different from what you thought it was going to be like when you first took the job?
I wasn't. There weren't too many surprises. I actually spent the last 20 years running summer camps and retreat centers. So I've dealt with a lot of families and the outdoors and a lot of the similar kinds of things that we do here. I love working with kids, and I love working with families and providing them experiences that, hopefully will, as I said, make a lasting memory for them.
I have sort of a behind-the-scenes question. How does Jellystone Park, honestly, how do y'all find so many friendly staff members, people that love their jobs and love the people that come there? You got to have some secret.
I think the biggest part of that is finding people who fit the culture of the park. We work really, really hard to help our staff understand, here's what our mission is, here's what we're trying to do with families. We have a set of core values that's all about making the place fun, making it family friendly. And, from the very beginning, we try and hire people who fit those values. We try and train our staff to live out those values on a day-to-day basis. And we try and give them the tools they need to be successful at doing those kinds of things.
Well, I know you do a great job, because the closest analogy I can tell to the staff, the quality of people that Jellystone has, is like on a cruise ship. Everybody that works on a cruise ship loves their job. The people that work at Jellystone seem to love their job, and they love people. And we got to wrap it up right there, John, but I appreciate very much you spending some time with us and telling us about your great facility. I hope you have a great rest of the summer.
Well, thank you, Alan. It's been great to be with you and talk a little bit about our park.
Awesome. Have a great weekend. We'll talk again, okay?
All right, thanks, Alan.
You betcha. All right, folks, that was John Erdman. He is the GM of a one-of-a-kind RV resort there in the Williamsport, Maryland area. If you're an RVer, there around Hagerstown, Maryland, near the Maryland-West Virginia border, you need to check them out. Remember, we're going to send a coupon for a free night stay there at Jellystone Park just for subscribing to our newsletter. Go to thervshowusa.com. Click on subscribe. We don't sell your info to anybody. We don't bombard you with a bunch of junk. Again, thervshowusa.com. Be back after this short break.
Are you an RV enthusiast looking for your next?
So I think it's
50-50. What's that?
half barbecue, half pepperoni. So Mr. Brian really wants to buy us pizza. So
If you're going to buy us something, buy us a bottle of booze or something.
I can't drink while I'm working.
Who said it was for you?
You said, oh, it's goofball.
Somebody's got to pour, somebody's
Here's
got
the
to
thing,
drink.
Brian, okay? If they'll deliver, then yes, that one will work. I don't know if they do or not. I can't remember.
But I'm leaving in just a few minutes.
He's leaving, so
it's all for him. You don't have to do anything.
You don't have to, Brian. I appreciate that.
But he does stay late.
I'm here till midnight. And I can't leave the building. I can go downstairs. I can't leave the building. So anything coming this way has to be delivered. I can't go pick it up. So call them, and if they'll deliver here, great. And if not, they might be able to direct you to someone who can. So pull the address off the website and ask them.
Security guard will take it.
Do you deliver to this address? And if they say yes, great. If not, ask them if they know which one will. But I appreciate that, Brian. You're a very kind, very generous individual. Thank you so much. So just like I said, as long as it can be delivered, I'm good to go. So man, that is awesome.
Hi, Jeff Branning. Thanks for being with us. I saw you jumped in earlier.
Right.
Hope y'all will subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm not sure if you heard earlier, but in about 24, 36 hours, this is going to go bye-bye off of Facebook. It will be replaced with our YouTube video of the show.
Yes. That is a new thing we're trying. And if you have success, I might implement it on the other program as well.
Well, my web lady is so smart, and I'm so not smart.
Well, here's something I would, and I told the other hosts about this as well. I think y'all collaborating and helping each other succeed, and just kind of giving tips and tricks back and forth.
Yeah.
It would be very beneficial to both of you.
I'm good with that.
I'd be down with that.
We can. Does he work on weekends?
Yes, Brian. That is the correct address.
Make it some stalker up here.
Well, that's why we have the security guard.
I know that.
To prevent the
Hey, they let my
stalkers from
daughter in
coming
here a
up.
couple of times, so they'll let anybody in. All right, we got 30 seconds, one more segment to go. Y'all stick with us.
Yes.
Lisa, check on my ice cubes, lover. Come on.
All right, so hang on, everybody. More of the RV Show USA. The last segment of this week's show continues in just a moment.
Furnished on-the-water cabins. Pay for one night, get the second night free. Make your reservation today at BigChiefRVResort.com.
The RV Show USA.
All right, it's Alan Warren, the RV guy, back with you. So what's one of the hottest topics that I'm reading about and hearing about over the past couple of weeks? Well, it's about the eclipse. Yeah, if you've not yet heard, the first total solar eclipse since 1979 has taken place, let's see, on August the 21st. And RVers are going crazy. They're making plans, loading up to hit the road and to see something that honestly, it could be totally invisible. It could be. I mean, think about it. The clouds are there. Those RVers won't see a thing, but you know what? That is perfectly all right. You see, I am all about good reasons to go RVing, but you know something? It doesn't take a solar eclipse to be reason enough to go RVing and camping. And you don't have to be shy about RVing either. RVing, while once upon a time it was thought of as something for old folks, today RVing has gone mainstream big time, and it is one of the coolest forms of family entertainment there is. And one of the greatest values, I think, in family entertainment ever. So you don't need a solar eclipse to get a hall pass to get out and have some fun, because I'll tell you, any old reason will do. For our listeners who aren't yet RVers, I want to invite you to visit some of the folks that you hear us talking about here on the show. They really will take good care of you. You see, they've been bit by the RVing bug too, and they're really experts at helping spread the joy that comes from spending time with those you love. RVing's fun. It can be quite affordable, and there's no better way I know of bonding with those that we care about and building lifelong memories. So when everybody else may seem to be racing to see the solar eclipse, you don't have to have a world of fun. All you need is a family that you care about, a sense of adventure, and your little RV. We sure do appreciate y'all for being a part of the show, and we invite you to subscribe to our free newsletter. We will not bombard you. We don't provide your info to anybody. You can subscribe and connect with us on Facebook and YouTube, all at the same place, and that's thervshowusa.com. So, Goose, what did you learn today?
Well, we give away those mobile RV training videos as our part of our monthly super prize.
Yes.
And now that I've heard Mr. Cooper, I wish I could be eligible to win that. Sadly, I am not.
Well,
but I am excited to hear more from this gentleman, and hopefully we will have him on again. I've also learned that we have some very generous listeners, and I appreciate each and every one of them.
We have got the greatest listeners of all. We do appreciate y'all. All right, before we get out of here, if you enjoy our show, if you love the RV lifestyle, if you're interested in RVing, we hope that you will make it a date. Join us each and every week as we travel the country, taking you to places, meeting people that all have one thing in common. That is a true passion for freedom and adventure and fun. If you'd like to join us for our live recording of the show each week, we'll save a seat for you. Just add your name to our email list, and you'll receive an invitation every week. Plus, by being a subscriber, you're automatically entered to win some great prizes. You can subscribe at thervshowusa.com. Until next time, I'm Alan Warren, the RV guy, with my buddy Goose, wishing y'all safe travels and great memories. Goose, get that band going.
The RV Show USA. Start living the RV dream today. Come on, America, let's hit the road.